Larry and I are ourselves. So once we were having a legitimate argument outside of Curb, and it was in the Benadryl Brownie, and they're setting up. It takes hours, the hurry up and wait kind of deal. And so we're out in the front lawn, and we're screaming at each other. I mean, I love them, but we're fighting. You love, whatever. And we're fighting, and I'm notorious throughout my whole career. I forget to turn the mic off. So the producers are in another room with the headphones on. I'm going, fuck him and fuck them, and he's jerking me around. But I don't turn the mic off. If I turn my mic off, no one would hear it. So we're having this argument, and I must say, once we started action, we brought that intensity, into the scene. But before the scene, I was bad-mouthing about 10 people on the show. So as we walk into the door, into the scene, I look to the right, and there's a little private room with about 7 or 8 producers, and they all had headphones on. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw them, oh, it's over. The career's over, the show's over. Because they heard everything that I had been saying for like 40 minutes before, the scene. There was no consequences, fortunately for me, but we sometimes can, when you're playing yourself, it's really bizarre. I mean, I don't know for Larry, but for me, because...
I'm not playing myself.
You're not playing yourself? Well, how do you describe it then?
He's playing who's in the outline.
No.
You're playing who's in the...
Larry, do you remember when we were doing the scene in the deli where you came to get the tickets? You remember that?
Yeah, I was with him.
Okay. Earlier in the day, they had spent 12 hours shooting a scene in a balcony. Oh. And something fell off, and they had done it. And so we start our scene, and you say to me, what are you eating? And I said, a turkey sandwich. And Larry says, the fucking wig wasn't in the scene.
Band-Aid. No, it wasn't a wig. It was
a Band-Aid.
Oh, the fucking Band-Aid wasn't in the scene. And I said, oh, well, okay, but you'll like the turkey. No, the fucking Band-Aid was back to the other location. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. No, we shot a scene in the theater, in the episode where I watched the producers, and I'm supposed to have a bandage on my head because Mel Brooks slammed the door into me. And I had the bandage on the whole show, and that scene I'm supposed to have a bandage on, and then we wrapped the location, went to the next
all
location.
The extras.
All the extras, everything, the whole
audience
thing.
Full of extras.
And we shot the whole thing without the bandage on, so we had to go back and do it again.
But no explanation. I mean, we're friends, we're human beings. I've been sitting in this fucking deli for 7 hours waiting to do this scene, and he said the Band-Aid is gone, and they're gone, and there's no cameras, there's nothing.
He giggles like a schoolgirl.
Well, Einstein always cracks him up.
And you know what? Can I just very quickly tell an anecdote about him? This is my favorite one, and the twins were doing it earlier. That's Berg, Schaefer, and Mandel, also our fine executive producers, who I call the twins. But we were filming the scene where you smell the perfume on Cheryl, and it's like, that's my mother's perfume, whatever. And it's his mom's
Shiva. Fragrance?
not Shiva.
Sounds
no.
right.
But like her coffin's there, Right. And for whatever reason, Dale selected, this is our AD, he picks out the extras, 4 or 5 of really the strangest looking extras I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Wow! And they're lined up in a row next to him in front of the casket. And there's other extras, myself, all of us are there, and we're just standing around waiting for them to call action and start. It's quiet. We're all, because we're seconds away. And then Bob turns and looks at these people standing next to him, and he goes, "These are my best friends! My best friends! They came to my mother's funeral! Oh, how thankful I am! They're my best friends!"
I'll tell you
I
another-
tell you, it took 10 minutes easy for us to calm down, start shooting again.
Here's another great example of, I had a 20th anniversary party. And because of what had to happen in the script, the only people that are at my 20th anniversary are black people and lesbians.
We were there. We were there.
And I said, what is this? And he said, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that was quite a collection.